1 second, guys. So what actually, and why I actually asked you, Lata, like as you told, you have used the tool to make others understand that how you are using the tool. Yeah, you talked about the technical terms. I'm very much sure people who are new to the tool, who have not used to the tool, though they will not understand those terminologies, correct? So if anyone asks you the simplest definition of what is ServiceNow to you, what will your answer be? Can you help me over there?
Service now is just if anything it will break or broken, we need to give service for them, right? If any
Okay.
computer and plugin, that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, anyone else wants to add something?
If see, for example, users are they are unable to log in and they created a ticket and they are assigning to me, okay? And I will go through the ticket and maybe I will help them out.
Okay,
I will
perfect.
change the password or I will create a user.
Okay, great answer.
Yeah.
Thank you. Srinivas Yanam, are you there? Can you please help me with your technical background, please? Srinivas and Jenny, I have sent you guys unmute request. Can you please unmute yourself and let me know? Yes, Srinivas, please go ahead.
Hey, Saloni, this is Srini. I'm not the one who is going to join here. It's actually the Sridevi is going to join.
Okay.
So, yeah, the system name it still shows like a Srinivasiana. Don't get confused. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Jenny? Just help her. Okay. So let's proceed further. So yeah, as Lata told, that tickets of certain kind is being created there in the ServiceNow tool. Which means if anyone asks me the simplest definition of the tool, my answer will be that ServiceNow is nothing but it is a ticketing tool. Tickets of certain kind will get created there. But what all kind of tickets will I create? One scenario could be that I need a new product for my company. So actually, to simplify that further, I would say that yeah, it is a ticketing tool. And who uses this ticketing tool? It's always used by the employees of a company. The vision of the ticketing tool is that a ticketing tool is a platform through which employees of a company can do in-house technical interactions. What does that mean, that in-house technical interaction? It means at any particular point in time, if an employee A needs help from some technicians, then they will raise a ticket via this tool to get the help, to get the support there. That's the vision, that's the purpose in it. So the reason why the tool came into picture or came into existence was the benefit that, okay, it will give you a platform through which now if employee has to seek any technical help, what he will do, he will just go ahead, raise a ticket into the tool and he is good to go. Prior to that, how it would have been working, why it was required? Because prior to a ticketing tool existing, the overhead was that obviously the employees were still helping each other, the technical teams were still helping the other employees and whatnot. But in such particular cases, for a regular employee to approach the technical team, to reach out to the concerned technical team in-house, it could have been a little overwhelming process. Like, let's say I joined the company today. I have been working for a couple of days, and let's say today my laptop is all of a sudden not booting up. So what will I do in this case? One way is, like, if you see it in past, when ticketing tools were not into picture, then the employee could have walked into the office, checked with the colleagues or the help desk at the bottom, at the base of the entry level of the company, to understand, okay, where does this technical team, IT support desk or whatsoever they sit. You will have approached one of the member of that team to seek help. But it could have been little overwhelming for the employee to understand each and every department. As I said, what if I'm new? I may not know who is IT support desk member, who all are IT support desk member, where do they sit. So for me to figure it out, this is little overwhelming. So that's where the need of ticketing tool was felt. Companies felt that, okay, if I have a tool, if I have a platform via which, if employees need certain technical help in-house, they can just go ahead, raise the ticket. It will make everyone's life much more easy. Now, how will that happen? It will happen because if I have a platform where things can be recorded, then what perk are we getting there? If I have a platform through which the things can be automated, then in that case, the main benefit will be now, not only the employee has a platform, but even a technician has a platform. Like, let's say if I'm solving your ticket, if it's happening via a tool, now I can also record, I can also justify that, okay, see, this ticket came at 10 o'clock. And let's say I was working till 12, means I can justify that those 2 hours I dedicated on this ticket. So now the tracking of the things can be done very easily. So that's what that is. So what do we need to understand? So we need to understand over here in this case that a ticketing tool purpose was to automate the organization employees interaction. But today, is the scope only limited to that? Today, the scope is not only limited to that. Rather, today the vision of the tool is, ServiceNow in specific, is to provide a tool through which all the organization day-to-day process could be automated. Okay, so that's what that is. So what we need to understand in this case is, today through the tool, we can even store the details about the assets of the company, about the products of the company. Today through the tool, what we can do further is, the things which we can do further is that You can even use ServiceNow as a platform for raising HR cases in your company. Not only IT help I can seek from the company, but if my company wants to use, as in these are the feature which ServiceNow is offering, surely it is my company's call if they want to use it or not. So today's ServiceNow can be used first to store the asset details of the company. Second, to even provide a platform through which employees can make HR requests like onboarding, offboarding, your leave details like paternity or any leave they want to apply. Like let's say maybe I want experience letter from my company. So all these can also be automated via the tool. So overall, I can say that yeah, whatever interactions you see between the employees of whatever kind it can be IT, it can be HR, it can be finance, each and every aspect of a company can be automated via the tool. In fact, today, if you'll see guys, ServiceNow also provides it to you, the chat functionality. In the demo, I don't have it, but you also get a chat functionality through which, if let's say you and me, we are both logged into the tool, yeah, we can even interact with each other via the tool. So these are some of the benefits of perk of the tool. How does the tool look like? So as you can see my screen, this is how the tool looks like. Your company may want to change the look and feel of the tool. They may want to add something like, for example, if you see right now, it's showing the ServiceNow company's logo here. If my company wants to, obviously my company wants to change the logo to my company perspective. So yeah, things like that can be done. The overall UI can be changed. The look and feel part can be changed if organization opts for that. Now, what ServiceNow says is, ServiceNow says, okay, when you purchase my tool, at any given point in time, I will not be doing any customizations of the tool to fit in your organizational need. Now, what does that mean? Let's try to understand that. Let's say, for example, as I said, for the very basic example that we wanted to change the company logo here. When we need to do that, what do we need to understand is at any given point in time, whenever we are doing the configuration and whatnot, the customization of the tool ServiceNow doesn't handle for per customer wise. In that case, people like you and me, we come into picture. So actually, in a way, if you see, we are not the developers, I can elaborate it that way. Rather, we are the enhancers of the tool. Because the tool, as you can see, does exist. What is our responsibility? Who will hire us? Why will the company hire us? Is because we will be hired because we need to tweak the tool. We need to make changes to the tool. That's the vision. That's the purpose over there. At any given point in time, if I have to make changes into the tool, that's where I will be hired for to fit in customers' need. Okay. So what is the takeaway from this training? Why are we opting for this training? So as part of this training, we will be covering 3 different aspects of the tool. First, the admin activities, how to maintain the tool as it is, how to, let's say, create user, grant access to the people and whatnot, that becomes the admin. Second becomes the development, where you need to learn scripting of ServiceNow. Now, what does that scripting mean? So what exactly ServiceNow has done, guys, for easy learning and training purposes, ServiceNow has developed its own syntaxes. So now, as part of the learning curve, as part of this course, we will have to learn all those syntaxes. How does there is something called server side, client side, integration, all those stuff we will be learning there. Yep. And then obviously the closure of the training we'll be doing by learning integration in that. Now, let's go through the very basic thing. Before that, Jenny, can you hear me now? Can you please unmute yourself?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So is it your first session?
Yes.
Can you please help me with your technical background?
I really don't have much experience in any service background, so this is basically new for me.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So now guys, let's proceed further. So let's go through the slide to understand the tool better. Let's start with the overview of the tool. So what are we saying? We are saying ServiceNow is a software platform, which means how are we going to access the tool? We are accessing the tool through the web-based interface as a software. Say the only prerequisite which we have to use the tool is we must have internet access. So that's what that is about. Then we are saying it is supporting the IT service management and it is automating the common business process. So as I told you, through this, the benefit is what? Through this, the benefit is that it is automating the day-to-day business process of a company. Correct. So that's what that is about. So what do we need to understand in this cases? We need to understand over here in this cases that it is doing nothing but it is automating the day-to-day business process of a company, which means, as I was talking in the initial thing, that whatever employee interaction it is of any kind of IT or finance or HR or whatsoever it is, each of these things can be automated by ServiceNow. So that's what that is about. Now, next it says is it is a software as a service. Anyone who have joined the prior session, do you want to walk through, like, just it will be a recap for you. What is software as a service? So for us to understand that, let me grab a notepad over here, guys. So over here, I've given a little introduction. Let me elaborate all these. If you'll see the history, guys, you will figure it out that prior to ServiceNow, there were a number of other tools, ticketing tools already there into the market, high in demand. So when I say so, Then why did ServiceNow gain the popularity? Let's have an overview of that. So let's try to see some major competitors of ServiceNow. So prior to ServiceNow, the companies were using tools like Remedy, HPSM, IBM Tivoli. These are the major competitors of ServiceNow. But today, if you'll do the market survey, you will figure it out. 90% of the organizations across the globe, not only IT, but even banks are using ServiceNow, even your Apple, your Pizza Hut is using ServiceNow today. Even federal companies are using ServiceNow today. So what is the reason of that transition? Why every company, or most of the company, I can say rather, has shifted towards ServiceNow? Let's try to get that answer. So the reason to that is what? The reason to that is that all these prior tools were based on platform as a service approach. Whereas when ServiceNow came, ServiceNow was being delivered to the customer as a software as a service. Now, obviously, the next question becomes, okay, what is that platform as a service, software as a service? Let's try to understand that. For that, let's say, guys, there's Apple, and Apple decides to use, let's go in the past and suppose it's a scenario that Apple decides to use HPSM as its ticketing tool. One of the prior ticketing tool, Apple decides to use it as a ticketing tool for its company. If you purchase the tool, any tool, if you purchase as a platform as a service, in that case, as the name itself says, platform as a service, in that case, the tool will be delivered as what? It will be delivered as a platform as a service, which means what? In that case, be it the database, be it the server, be it the UI, each and every aspect, who will have to own of the tool? Apple company will have to own. So I'll repeat. The day the contract is signed, going further, if any customizations have to be done or maintenance have to be done of the tool, the customer company owns up every aspect of it. It's the customer company's responsibility to take care of each and every aspect over here. Okay. Then the overhead is, as I told, like all these aspects has to be maintained by the customer company, which means they will have to hire 3 different type of resources in this case. They will have to hire people who understands database, server, and UI. So it is.
But what is, sorry, Saloni, interrupting you, but what is the HPSM means?
It is just a tool, like just a competitor of service. Now, HPSM is HP's product, HP Service Management.
Oh, okay. And that means DB and server in UI. UI is the developer, right? UI is the
I'm just
app
talking
or,
about DB is what? Database. Server means what? Starting, restarting, rebooting the servers and all those stuff.
okay.
So I'm not going to these terms, what these specifically mean, but if you see any tool, it has 3 aspects, correct? The backend part of it has 2 aspects of it, server plus the database. And obviously the front end is always the user interface.
UI developer, okay.
So what exactly, I'm not going into these terminologies as such. What right now, what I'm trying to highlight is that the company who is purchasing the tool, the customer company, they have to maintain the overall tool when you're purchasing the tool as a platform as a service. That's what I'm trying to highlight.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Now, so the overhead in that case was, guys, that the company has to hire 3 different type of resources, minimum of 3. The numbers will increase obviously based on how large scale the company is. We need people who understand DB, server, UI, so 3 types. But obviously the number will increase based on how many resources are required. That's that. So what do we need to understand in this case is we need to understand over here in this particular one up that in this case, the overhead was the company was spending too much in maintaining and managing every aspect of the tool. But when ServiceNow came into picture, it was being offered as a software as a service, which means in this case, ServiceNow was saying that, okay, I will take care of the database and server of the tool. ServiceNow owns up the database and server of the tool. When that happens, what is the benefit? When that happens, the benefit in this case is, as you can see in here, that the overhead on the customer company decreases a lot. Because if you see in this case, again, if the Apple purchase ServiceNow as the tool, Apple only has to take care of the front end changes. Because the backend part is always maintained by ServiceNow. So that's the benefit in here. Does that make sense, guys? Can you see the difference? Quite prominent it is. It is in this case, 3 of the aspect of the tool the company has to maintain. In this case, only one aspect. Obviously, it is easy for the companies to use the tool.
So ServiceNow only provide the SaaS version or means on-premise version also?
If the companies want on demand, if they want the platform as a service version, yeah, even that can be provided.
Okay.
But it's not preferable, as in there the benefit gets compromised, right? The major benefit
Yes.
was that tool owner is taking care of database server.
Thank you.
So Abby, as you asked the recordings, yeah, we will be sharing the recordings, the slide which I'm sharing and all. But it will be done only after you guys confirm the registration process. Once the registration is done of the class, only then you will be getting these perks with it. Not bad. Yep. So anyone else, any question for me? I am good to end the session, guys. So if anyone has any question, please go ahead. Okay then. Thanks everyone for your time. Have a good day. Bye-bye.
But tomorrow again, what time are we going to join?